the house, the one they talking about, word of mouth. The boxing playhouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what it's all about.
Welcome to Boxing Playhouse. This is Sakura A and Emilio Santana.
What's up, y'all?
Of course, you're watching Boxing Playhouse's After Dark series. And we got a lot to go through today. But the main reason why is because we got a doubleheader with Charlo brothers this weekend. We got all kinds of information for you with one of those fights, junior middleweight. Sonny Duversonne is with us tonight. Prime time. And then we got some of our favorites actually fighting as we speak. So we want to definitely wish them good luck too. So why don't we just go ahead and start with who's already fighting tonight on the UFC Fight Pass. And that's going to be our man MRJ, Mark Reyes Jr. And then also we got Ty Tomlin. That's right. Yeah, the Switch. And he's going to be ready to do his thing as well. I can't wait to see the outcome of these fights. It looks like Mark has got some stiff competition tonight. So we got to wait and see the results. But hopefully our guy will come on top with no problem. So good luck to our fam, Tampa Bay's own MRJ. Yes. Okay, so on to our next news, which is basically our last week's news. I mean, we had fights that came up. I mean, it was a lot of stuff just, on last weekend with boxing. I mean, is there anything that stood out to you from the cards we watched?
Wow.
I guess that's a no. Was that a no?
I liked Boots Ennis. He did his thing.
Okay.
He did what he was supposed to do. Boots did. So I was impressed with Boots. I think, as long as he stayed focused,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care for a whole lot of showboating out of him, but as long as he stayed focused and keep training and doing what he's doing, he coming out of Philadelphia, some legendary fighters come out of Philly, so I was impressed with Boots. So hopefully, that young man stay on track, and we'll see, how he progress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really enjoyed Ennis Boots. I mean, he was really the knockout for the night. He had it. Right. I do want him to step up his competition a little bit. And I don't want to see him showboating yet either, because I felt like, you're doing something that you're supposed to be able to do, which is get rid of lesser talented opponents. So I'm not going to give any kudos for that. But I'm always excited when I get to see him on a card. So let's just see what they have planned for him next. I mean, if he's a PBC fighter now, he's got plenty to work with. There's a plethora of welterweight talent over there. So we can look forward to hopefully seeing some good matchups for him.
Most definitely. The welterweight division is getting stacked.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good up and coming fighters, are coming out of there. We saw the kid Elvis Rodriguez. He's another a hard hitting youngster coming up in that division. You still got the main cats in the division, the Errol Spence, the Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman. You got the legendary Manny Pacquiao still there, Sean Porter. So I hope these young guys get up, get in the mix before these guys start moving on or whatever. I would like to see them get in the mix of things.
Yes, definitely. And I can't wait to see who ends up on top. I really feel like it's a transition for Ennis Boots. I mean, that could be like the break between the Keith Thurmans and the Garcias, all of those that came before him. And then, with Ennis Boots, we can come in with the Virgil Ortiz. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole new group of welterweights to help usher in another generation of fighters. Because they are, it's about a 7 to 8 year gap between some of these people that you mentioned for him to fight. So, I mean, really, that's like ushering it in an entirely different welterweight division.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say, Sakir, what you thought about the main event with Lubin and Gautier?
Why we had to go there? You know, Lubin. I mean, I was cheering for him. I thought that he had the superior skills from Gautier right from the very, very beginning. And I have to admit, I wasn't that excited about this fight. And after seeing the first 6 rounds and there was hardly any action, I kind of felt like, yeah, I was right. But then they started exchanging around the 6th or 7th round, and then we were able to see, who got better superior power. Well, I guess we came out with the situation where both of them has great power. So it's kind of like, dang, Gautier is going to look back at this fight and he's going to be like, damn, what the fuck was I doing? I gave away a lot of rounds.
And he rocked Lubin in what was about the 10th round, 9th or 10th round. He rocked Lubin, and
yeah,
I think if Gautier would have started a little earlier, man, he could have possibly won that fight because it was close on the scorecards. I think he started a little late.
Mm-hmm.
He hurt him, even though Lubin came back in the last round, and he hurt Lubin in the last round.
Yeah, is that what happened? I'm trying to remember. I forgot what happened.
They both got hurt.
They both got hurt though, and I remember Lubin got hurt earlier. But the thing of it is that I like the way that Hammer was able to compose himself and remain calm in that situation, and then came back to still dominate some rounds. Yeah. So with that being in mind, I think the experience probably is what helped him in that fight more so than Gautier. But Gautier, he really needs to go back to the drawing boards, and it may even be with a new coach for me. And the reason why I say that is just because he's continuously having these hard fights where, it's like he's right there on the edge of doing something great and he falls, a little flat. So we're talking about the Trout fight that he had, in which it became a draw when, many people felt like he really did have, what it took to win that fight. And then the fight before that, I think he fought, I forgot the other person he fought. Gautier. He's fought somebody else, and it was very.
He lost to Charlo.
Okay, but still, the Trout is the one that was very contentious, as well as it was another fight that he was, having good.
Oh, with Lara.
Lara, that's right. So he's got to go back to the drawing board and figure out what it takes for him to finish. And the number one thing is don't give away rounds.
So what do you feel about Lubin? Is he ready for Charlo now, or what do you think?
I do not think he is ready for Charlo. I would like to see him in some more really competitive fights. Right, or Rosario or him. I would like to see him in some competitive fights. Okay, so we almost got one of our guests ready, and he's going to tell us about an article he wrote for Heavy Bag Boxing. And it's going to be a great situation for him because I really, really, really enjoyed his article just that much that I want to make sure that it gets its proper props. So that's why we got to have my Heavy Bag Boxing colleague on here, Rob, pretty soon. Yes, that's the Rob, Rob Bass, Rob the Heartbreaker. But
Rob
first,
coming out of Atlanta, right?
ATL by way of Illinois, Chicago. Okay, let's read some of these comments real quick. He says, "Are you guys watching the fight Saturday night?"
Man, we're watching that, Clarence.
We're gonna get to that in a little bit. You're a little too fast for us. We try to catch up with next week, and then we're gonna go to what's going on this week. And then we got Mac. Mac says, "Who you guys got?" Yeah, Mac says, "Who you guys got for AJ Fury? Feel like a lot of fanboys can't give a thoughtful opinion due to fancying both boys." Okay, I definitely would have to go for Fury in that one, Mac. And the main reason why is that I don't feel that AJ is up for the task or the real skill level that somebody like a Fury, very tricky, has the height and weight advantage, would be able to impose on AJ. And if Ruiz can get to his chin and cause a KO, definitely Fury could. So I'm gonna have to go with Fury in that one, honey. And thanks for your question. And then we got Raul. He says, "I love you." Oh, well, thank you. We love you right back. And then Leah says, "Hey, Boxing Playhouse."
Hey, what's up, Leah?
George or Jose, he says, "Hola, muy bien." And then Max says, "White Povetkin too." I think White will be prepared for Povetkin a lot better this time, and he will not let his guard down. I think the round before he was KO'd, he was in control, and he actually hurt Povetkin in that fight too. So in that round as well. So I think that made him feel more confident, and he let his guard down in that last round in which Povetkin took full opportunity. So I mean, I have to go for White this time.
I'm
You think
surprised.
so?
I'm surprised the fight came off as quick as it did as far as this rematch. I would have thought, at least, a little longer than what it is. That's a quick rematch. I guess Dylan White gonna hurry up and get back his spot where he was. It took him so long and hard to get that spot and to lose it like that to Povetkin. So I know he want to hurry up, get back in that, back in line, because they was lined up for a title shot, the winner of that fight.
Absolutely. And then we got our last comment. He says, Alexandria, I'm sorry. She says, "I got my drinks. I'm ready." Oh, all right. And we ready too, honey. Boxing Playhouse.
Rob, you got your drink, man.
Rob, get that drink. All right. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and introduce my colleague from Heavy Bag Boxing. That's Rob Bates.
Rob Bates.
No, I just literally got got off work, so I can't have a drink in my hand yet.
Oh shoot, he's still on the clock, baby.
Oh, Rob on the clock?
Yeah.
No, I just got off, so just clocked out. Just clocked out.
All right. So before we get into this amazing article that you did, I'm so proud of you. By the way, it was just a heartfelt and very emotional and influential type article. But before we get into that, we're gonna go ahead and get your predictions for the Charlo versus Rosario fight first. Who you got?
So I'm hyped up for this fight. I've been watching a lot of docu-series. They got a docu-series on Showtime right now, showcasing the Charlos, but they did put Jason Rosario in on there. He looks bigger, and it might be I don't know what's going on there, but he looks bigger than he did in that last fight in that hype video, and he definitely is ready. And he does have a hell of a backstory as well. People need to tune into that. I'm sure they'll be showcasing that on the telecast on Saturday. He looks ready. That being said, though, Charlo did speak on something on the documentary that he got his shit together. He said he got himself together. He got him some act right. He reevaluated his life, took out some of them things. Because if y'all remember, he had some issues going on there with some backstories after the especially after the Tony fights. So he supposedly got his act together. And I think that him being the main event on that fight is going to weigh in heavily on him, and he's going to go ahead and do what he needs to do to win that fight. I don't think he's going to take a Jason Rosario out. Jason's he's way too tough, and Charlo, this is not the guy for Charlo to be taken out. He needs to take his time. He needs to show his boxing skills. He has a better resume right now than Jason does. He needs to use all of that to his strength, and he's still only going to pull out a narrow decision.
Right. I mean, it's going to be a tough fight for him. And I know that you're saying you're going to go for Jermell. But for me, I feel like Rosario is going to be an upset. So with that said, I had you look up the odds earlier, Rob. You had to tell us about that.
I mean, basically, I don't know how it goes, like the 3-1, 4-1. It's kind of like in the 4-1 odd range because it how it works is plus and minus. And then they evaluate that based off of every $100 that you spend. So it's plus 320 right now for Jason Rosario, which means he's an underdog, which means every $100 you put up, you get 320. You make 320 off that 100.
Okay,
So
so that's a lot of money if Rosario wins, if you bet on him.
and you know the odds go up from there, especially if he knocks him out. That'll be a hell of a payday if you pick a knockout.
Yeah, I'm just curious about it because of the fact that we've never seen either one of the Charlos really stood up and have an opponent that is equal in physicality and as tall as they are. So I'm interested to see how that dynamic is going to work out for Jermell. And also, you know, last time that they were on a card together, things didn't work out so well. And when something happens with one Charlo, it affects the other Charlo because they are twins. I mean, there's no way that you can get around that. So do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea for those two to be on the same card this time?
I mean, you know, he has a unified title fight, but maybe that's why they put him last. Because that's what happened the other way around. You know, the other way around, he was the one who lost the fight and affected his brother's performance. So yeah, I agree that you know that definitely does something to you. Now there's supposed to be a 30-minute intermission, you know, so I don't know if they're gonna be able to talk to each other or whatnot during that intermission. Maybe one could calm one's nerves down if that does happen. But yeah, that's gotta affect you. And I'm a twin myself. So I can tell you firsthand, anything my twin went through that I had to see and witness firsthand, it affected me. It made me even more hungrier, or it made me, you know, less, you know, it affected me.
Rob, you got an identical twin?
Look just like me.
He in the boxing too?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Wow.
That's what they say. So the personalities be so different. So different. You know, my thing is which one of you guys is more aggressive? Are you the one that's more aggressive or your brother?
No, he's way more aggressive than I am.
Oh, really?
Calmed down. He's calmed down now with age, and of course, you know, he's got his lady with him now that has settled him down. But man, there were some years out there we had to restrain him.
Oh my goodness. Baby, what do you think about that?
Well, as far as what?
The Charlos and the twin aspect, is it a good idea?
I'm trying to think, did the Klitschko's ever fight on the same night like that?
Good question.
I know Leon Spinks and I think Michael fought a few times, and you know, they did well. And that fight, I felt like Charlo won that fight, so I don't think it's a bad thing. That first fight, I actually thought he beat Harrison, so I think it's cool. I mean, I don't think nothing wrong with it.
Okay. I was left, I mean, so many questions with that first fight, but I did think that Harrison did enough to show some real serious flaws with Charlo, and then also use his skill to outmaneuver him. And I think the judges rewarded him for that. But then with the second fight, I felt like Harrison was winning like every round until he got tired and lackadaisical, lost his concentration, and then bam, that's when Charlo was ready to, you know, basically be able to make a difference in the fight. You know, he just sat back and wait for him to lose that concentration, and he did. So, and there's something to be said about that. As a champion, you have to know when to do something like that. You know, it's like if I know I can't out skill-wise box somebody, but I got to still be tactical enough to be patient and know that eventually they're going to run out of steam, or I'm going to have my chance to land something big. So that's what I give credit for in Charlo on that one. Now, before we know, you don't have much time because you're in high demand tonight with other podcasts. But I mean, I want to talk about this article. I love this article. I shared it to everybody on our pages, and I wanted you to just tell us what made you decide to go there.
Yeah, you know, The article is called "Let's Take a Time Out of Boxing," so it's not a boxing article. Definitely want to let the fans know that. But I just wanted to share my feelings, not my opinions. I don't want to express my opinions or stress or force my opinions on anyone. But I did want to go ahead and make my feelings be known about this Breonna Taylor situation, and as far as what happened and how I feel. So basically, the take that I put on it is what the quote is that everybody is saying, and that's say her name. And that's one thing that I want people to remember with this historical event is that we can't forget the name. We have to say a name. And the name is one of the most important things to a human being. That is your legacy. And we talk about boxing, where all these boxers go through, what all these boxers deal with, their namesake is their livelihood. It is their legacy. It is what they actually are known for. It's why they go out into the ring and face adversity and face all the elements that come along with it. I mean, let's face it, if they die in the ring, which many have, that's the name you remember.
Absolutely. And that was one thing that was in the article. I felt that you could have switched. You saying it's not about boxing, but in a way, you really put in an example of how important a name is and how that can influence and change, the definition or the meaning of that person's name, long term. I mean, and you use an example of Ali. So can you tell us about that?
Exactly, Shakur. I'm talking about the 1967 fight between Muhammad Ali and Ernie Terrell. Now, let's face it, don't nobody remember Ernie Terrell. He got dog walked that night. But there is a reason why he got dog walked that night. Muhammad Ali just moved his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali because he turned Muslim. And in the press conference, I believe it was actually at the weigh-in, going into the fight, Terrell would not say Muhammad Ali. That was the term that we all know. Your mama named you Cassius Clay. I'm going to call you Cassius.
Right.
And Muhammad Ali whooped him in that fight. And what did he say, Shakur? He said, say my name. Say my name.
Right.
And he made Terrell respect that, So there's a lot to put into somebody's name. So I think that's the saying that I took from it. And yeah, it absolutely translates to boxing just as it does worldwide events. When I die from here, hopefully my legacy for my kids will move on. And Breonna Taylor's legacy right now has to move on to being something positive.
And powerful.
Absolutely.
Rob, I was gonna say when you brought up the Ali thing, I got a chance to meet Ali one time. He came to Milwaukee back. I was like 14, and the trip part about it, Ernie Terrell was his bodyguard. That was the strange part about it, man.
No figure.
Yeah, so
still didn't want to call him by what he wanted to be called by. And I had to be paying him. He was on his payroll.
Yeah, they must have became friends later, man, or something.
And that and that's the thing with boxing now. And one of the things that chokes me up about the Breonna Taylor situation, she can't get that respect back in her name. She can't get that back. She's no longer here. So it's up to us to keep that legacy alive. It's up to us to make that name powerful, to make it meaningful in a positive way.
Right. Absolutely. And how can everybody find this beautiful article?
Well, it's at the Heavy Bag Boxing. It's on my Facebook, Rob the Heartthrob. It's on Shakur's Facebook, and she shared it as well. Definitely check it out. It's worth a read. Again, just listen to the words, look at the words. I'm not trying to force anybody's hand in any opinions. I don't make or share really any of my opinions on the situation. I'm just speaking on my feelings, how frustrated I am, how angered I was, and that's it.
All right. And you can catch Heavy Bag Boxing, Rob Heartthrob. You can find him and me together on Tuesdays, and that's with Tough Talk Tuesdays. That's a Heavy Bag Boxing podcast. We do that every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Rob, thanks so much for your time. We're going to go ahead and let you go. And I just appreciate that article so much. Thank you so much for opening up your feelings and putting it to pen.
Thank you, Shakur. And I did mention, I caught some slack on that article today. Caught some slack.
I'm a bit quiet on that, but I'm just glad that we got it posted and everybody was, very touched by it at the end.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.
All right, y'all.
Okay. So that was Rob. I mean, Rob was really cool. And I'm glad that he was able to write that article. Please go check it out. It is on my page. It is on Heavy Bag Boxing's page, the Twitter accounts as well. So we want to make sure that we get a lot of attention on that article. All right. So we got the beautiful Dahlia that's chiming in with us tonight. The beautiful Dahlia is a Florida Boxing Hall of Fame inductee for 2020, baby. And we'll be celebrating with her November 6th through the 8th at the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame weekend.
It's going to be a big party, y'all.
Oh, so make sure you be there. Okay, so our word of the night is going to be what? What do you want our word to be? I really feel like it should be say my name.
Say my name? Okay, say my name.
Emilia. All right. So Dahlia says, what's the deal with De La Hoya and Canelo? Seems like they are, seems like they are filing for divorce instead of boxing agreements. Laugh out loud. Well, that's right. Oscar is known for pissing off his fighters now. I don't know what that's about. I mean, used to, when he just first created Golden Boy, everybody was glad that they had a different option besides just Bob Arum and Don King. Right. And now it's to the point now where everybody is trying to flee Golden Boy because of these shenanigans. I just wish their team can be all on the same page. You got Ryan Garcia with issues. You got Canelo that's got issues. You got all these different people like the Zone organization involved in it. So it just seemed like drama. It seemed like too much drama, and they need to get back to boxing. All right, so let's see. We got Otto. He says, Rob don't smile much, but his views are amazing. I have a beautiful smile, and I don't know if he was saying that to me, and great boxing knowledge, and my name is Sakura. Hashtag BPH. All right, Sakura, it's good to meet you. I thought I'd never meet another Sakura in my life, so this is interesting. Okay, so let's see. We got Clarence. Clarence says, hello, Dahlia. And she says, hello, my friend. Because our boxing playhouse players get along. That's why I'm telling you, Oscar need to take a page from us.
Like the King said, can we all just get along?
I wish we could, yes. But we got to, everybody got to be on the same playing field. Everybody got to be feeling equal in order for everybody to get along.
That's it. Golden Boys, death row of boxing.
Well, I sure hope they're not that bad. I hope you don't go to a training session and think you overhear somebody getting shot and killed. Now that would be death row. So they do got some issues they need to work out though. And Oscar, he can't run a boxing promotional company like he is Suge Knight. We can't have that. All right, so let's see. Who else is up here?
So he was talking about you. Great.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it, sweetheart. Aren't you sweet tonight? And then Clarence says, Lions only. Okay, Clarence. So are you saying that you're going with Canelo? I mean, you're going with Charlo? Is that what I'm hearing? In both fights, Darenchenko versus Jermell Charlo at middleweight, and then Jermell Charlo versus Rosario Banana at junior middleweight. I mean, are you saying that's who you're going for? Talk to me. I need to know what you're saying. And then he says Charlo would kill him again. And I'm not sure which Charlo he's talking about still. And he says, oh boy, 2 of you. And then Clarence says, yes, lines only. Okay, so basically you're saying you're going for both Charlos in this double hitter. And that is, you know, basically Saturday night. It's a pay-per-view fight on Showtime. Lots of people got problems with paying for the pay-per-view. I mean, these are both highly skilled fights. Unification title on the line. WBC title on the line at middleweight for Charlo. That fights Darenchenko. This may be Darenchenko's really, you know, best fight we see if he's not able to produce a win from this. So it's do or die for him as well, which people haven't been really talking about that element of it. Do you have any type of, you know, how can you say it, confidence that Darenchenko will be able to pull out a win over Jermell?
I don't see him beating Jermell Charlo. I just don't. I think he might, you know, it might be competitive first couple rounds, but I think after 5 rounds, Jermell gonna break him down. You know, Jermell is really one of my favorite fighters right now. The young guys out right now. You know, he got the Hitman nickname that, you know, Tommy Hearns was one of my favorite fighters, and Jermell, I like Jermell Charlo. So I think Darenchenko for the first 5 rounds, he might look all right, but after that, I got Charlo breaking him down.
Okay. Well, you heard it here. You know your prediction is on video, right, baby? So you gonna have to stick to that.
Stick to it.
All right. Well, I'm not too sure about Darenchenko. I believe that he may have pulled out a win on Triple G. Is Triple G the Triple G that, you know, was knocking out everybody back in the day? I don't believe so. But at the same time, he's still like one of the best at that division. So with that being said, Darenchenko also has had a very tight fight with Danny Jacobs and came out on the losing side. So there again, we're dealing with the boxer, kind of like we were talking about Gautier, in which they're coming up just a little short on each of their fights. So I hope he has a different game plan tonight to be able to deal with not only Charlo's superior skill, but that power that he likes to use. All right. So, I mean, I'm not saying that. Do you think Charlo has the kind of power that Triple G really has?
I believe he got enough power to get Darenchenko out of there. I believe so. He's tall. He's rangy. He's grown into that, you know, that weight division. He's a harder hitting Charlo out of the 2 brothers.
Okay.
I definitely think, and he's very accurate with his punches. You saw how he laid J-Rock out. I think Charlo gonna get him out of there. I really do.
Okay, so but what I'm saying to you is, does that mean that you feel that Jermell Charlo has the kind of power that Triple G has? Because Triple G didn't knock him out in that fight.
Yeah, but
so that means that Darenchenko does have a nice chin on him.
Yeah, he does, but I don't know if Triple G caught him right. Man, it was a tough fight. You know, they both was pretty much similar in size. Jermell, he's got the height over him, the reach, man, the youth. You know, he was fighting an older, you know, Triple G too. And Charlo's young and strong and hungry. So I believe, that's my prediction. I believe Charlo gonna stop him after 5.
Okay.
I'm sticking with that.
All right. I'm really think this is going to be a way closer fight than people are predicting. But I do think that once they do start exchanging and being in the pocket a lot, that Darenchenko is going to get hit, and it might be with something he's not used to.
Right.
Like I said, he fought a Triple G that was not like in his prime anymore. So maybe that came into play. They were also saying that he was sick during that fight. And so I don't know if he got the best of Triple G.
That should have been our word of the night, Prime.
Yeah, we might have to change it to Prime too. But we're gonna tell him, we're gonna have him say my name too. You know, say your name. All right, so let's read these 2 comments and then get our guest on. So it's Otto. He says, I hate to be the one to say it, but what do you guys think of the price tag? I mean, for the pay-per-view, shoot. I mean, I feel like with this being a COVID year and us not being able to see a real even fight between an opponent and a A-side fighter, that I'm okay with paying the pay-per-view. And that's just the main reason why, is because I know there's no other way that it could have happened that we see highly competitive fights this year, is that it has to be paid for and supplemented some type of way, since there's no seating. You know, you're not getting any gate price to help pay these opponents.
I feel like it could have been, you know, cheaper. You know, you're getting a free Lomachenko and Lopez fight, which is a big fight on ESPN. So I think, you know, with this COVID situation, I believe it could have been cheaper. My opinion. I feel like they could have been a little cheaper than the $79 price tag they're putting on this. But, you know, we're real boxing fans and we got to see it.
And they know that. So they know we're going to pay, because we're ready to see some real competitive fights.
One way or another, you're going to watch this fight.
Right. And then Otto says this could have been an opportunity to showcase high quality fights to the casuals.
Right, I agree with that.
But it wouldn't have been an opportunity because they wouldn't have been able to afford the opponent at that high caliber opponent, you know, the talent level, the rankings. It wouldn't have happened. And also, I mean, until these casual fans actually show some real interest in our sport, I don't even care if they see it or not. They can pay just like the rest of us. They see football for free, baseball for free. Soccer is damn now free now. Come on now. You can see all these other sports that they're into for free. You just got to pay. I mean, there's no other way around it if you really want to see some really great competitions and some huge KOs possibly. Which I do believe. I'm predicting that somebody's going to get KO'd in this double hitter.
Somebody's going to sleep.
Somebody going to sleep, ain't they? Night, night.
If it's on too late, I might be asleep.
And Otto says, you're right. I wish you would fall asleep on $79.
No, I'm going to be up.
You're going to get pushed, right? You're going to get woke up. All right. So Otto says, you're right. Somebody has to pay the bills. All right. I agree. Now, check this out. What we got right now is Sonny Duversonne. He has some insider information. Sonny Duversonne is prime time here in Tampa Bay area. He is the man that knows how to fight. He will fight anybody, anywhere, anyhow. You got a fight lined up and you need him to handle business. He's there for it. Okay? And that's what I like about Sonny. Yeah, that's what you like about him.
I like that too about Sonny. Sonny reminds me of the throwback dudes. He's willing to get in there and fight anybody. You know, Sonny done went from different weight classes. Hey, I'm calling, hey, you ain't ready. I'll jump to the welterweight. Hey, there's nobody there. Hey, I go back to junior middleweight. I go to middleweight. Hey, what's up?
I know.
That's what I love about him.
Sonny is definitely the type of fighter that every boxing fan would love if they know him. And that's why we want to bring him on tonight. He can go from welterweight to junior middleweight to middleweight if he need to. And that's that cold-hearted boxer type attitude I love. Right. So without further ado, we're going to introduce Sonny Primetime Duversonne. What's
going on, y'all? What's going on?
What's up, Sonny?
Sonny, thanks so much for your time tonight.
Nah, my pleasure, man. Anytime for y'all.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I wanted to know what you specifically was going to be up to. Do you have another fight lined up, and things like that too? So, tell us a little bit about where you're actually training out of, what city here in Florida, and what is in the works coming up.
Right now, I'm training out of Sarasota. I just got back this week from the Rosario camp
Mhm.
that they had us in Miami for like the last 3 months. So now I'm in Flashfoot Academy in Sarasota,
Mhm.
and at the moment we don't have nothing locked in for sure, but like we got a couple offers on the table that we trying to get something done real soon within the next month or two. Pretty much,
Okay.
we've had a few of like more than a few actually offers that have fell through since uh
Cool.
during my whole time in the camp. Yeah, the
Mhm.
COVID and like it's just it's same thing as usual. A lot of people don't want to fight, so we got to just maneuver around that.
Mhm. Okay, so basically, you said for 3 months you was in Miami. I mean, are you getting ready to move to Miami full time? Did you have that type of fun there, or was it all business?
Nah,
And you was ready to get the hell home.
nah, it was all business. It was all business. Like how they had us in the camp with the Rosario camp. It was pretty much we were secluded. It was just us and the fighters in the camp house, and then our gym was closed off, so it wasn't really no one but us
Okay.
that we was dealing with the whole entire time because the restrictions that WBC and all the belts got, we had to get tested twice a week. It was a whole bunch of crazy stuff.
Okay, that's interesting. Now that's some serious insider scoop because I had no idea that if a title's on the line, that they were also going to request that you do the COVID testing through the training.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everyone had the Coach Chiro. He
Yeah.
had the list. He had to list everybody that was in the gym. We had to get tested at least once or twice a week minimum. Rosario had to get tested twice a week, no less, pretty much because they came every time. And then on top of that, he had the weight situations. You know how they got to they monitor your weight. The WBC
Yeah.
does. So they was real. It was real into it,
Well,
into
that
the
must
whole
have been
camp.
an intense camp. I mean, have you been in one of those type camps before where they are, doing the random drug testing? Well, basically, have you been in a WBC type environment for training before now?
Nah, this was the first one, and it was an experience. It
Right.
was a great experience though. The guys, it was just wonderful all the way around because I had the option to stay because I didn't have to stay in the camp house. I could have just came on sparring days, but from what I learned when I was there is just priceless, man. That was just the best experience that I had as far as boxing wise because I was around world class talent every day because it was like 5 or 6 of us in the camp house at all times, and everybody 10-0, everybody 10-0, 9-0, 14, 15-0, and they all got big fights coming up. Everybody fighting on either PBC, Showtime. They all
Mm-hmm.
had like title fights coming up on along with Rosario, so it was just a whole different mindset. The grind was just different. That's the main thing I learned from them.
I'm glad you had that experience too, Sonny. I mean, I just wanted to know a couple of people that were in the camp with you guys because I saw some pictures, but I didn't recognize everyone. I saw Banana.
We had it was Banana. We had Patrick Cora. He's 10-0, 7 knockouts. We had Kelvin King. He's 5-0, 5 knockouts. Travis Shelton. He's 2-0, 2 knockouts. Uh, Paulie. Paulie's 14-0.
Uh-huh.
And we had Nicholas Flash. He's 9-1. And I'm trying to think of who else. Dang, I can't even. Palmetto. Palmetto, he's a former Olympian. He was in the camp. He's I think
Okay.
16-1.
Mm-hmm.
And then Manu, we had Manu in there. Manu, he just won now I want to say WBA belt. And on the Christy Martin card.
Okay.
And then we had a lot of the guys from Fifth Street Gym. They used to come in every week, at least once a week to spar. So Dino and his guys came. We had it's a lot. I know they're gonna kill me. It's a lot of guys that I
A
couldn't even
lot
pronounce
of
their
people.
names.
I didn't realize it was that many guys. I thought I was gonna be talking about I thought you were gonna name like 4 different guys. Maybe that's a lot. That's a huge.
Nah, that's not even half. Because we had a couple gold medalists in there, a couple Olympians, silver medalists. We had a few champions in there. Actually, Chris Colbert's next opponent, he came. He stopped by, showed love. He's a real good fighter. And another guy, I'm not sure. I think he's fighting for his next fight is he's fighting for the mandatory spot for the Teofimo and Lomachenko. I know y'all probably know his name, but I can't even think of his name.
Ooh.
But it was a lot of
You said he's fighting to be the mandatory for Lomo and Teo winner?
Yeah.
Who was that? Lightweight.
It's
I have to figure that one out because that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it was a lot of guys stepped. Mark DeLuca.
Okay. Yeah. Sonny, you're gonna get in trouble. But if you think of some more, I didn't realize it was that deep. You should have a question.
Yeah, Sonny, being in the gym with all them fellas, man. How did that do to your confidence? Do you feel like you belong, in there with them champions?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Most definitely, because it was everybody had as far as because see it was a group 6 of us that was in the house.
Right.
As far as the guys in the house, and Frenchie, I can't forget Frenchie. And man, I just shot Frenchie out. Okay. But as far as the guys in the house, they were I felt like I belonged definitely because we got tested every sparring session.
When you worked out with Rosario, were you required to stay close to his weight? I mean, you had to keep your weight down too?
Nah, it wasn't. But because by me living in the house, we were on the same training regimen, so our weights was pretty much identical the entire time.
Oh, okay.
But they brought you in because they wanted you to mimic a Charlo, correct? Like his opponent.
Now, I'm not gonna say mimic, but yeah, we have similar styles, so they was like, yeah, we can just bring him in because I sparred. I went down there. I want to say I went down there to Dino's gym in Miami, Fifth Street Boxing Gym, and Coach Churro seen me spar, and he was like, "Man, you'll be a good sparring partner for Banana." So,
okay.
And then I went down to spar with Banana, and it was like, if you're good, you can stay, and if you're not, it is what it is. And then I sparred him, and then they just said I can stay.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I think. I think you definitely belong in all of that. And I can't wait till you start getting the competition to be able to prove that. And I think that's a big hold up for you right now. It's just trying to get somebody in the ring that wants to deal with Primetime. I mean,
yeah.
And that's one of those records that people have to infer. Because when you look at some people's records, it doesn't really reflect. Like, look at a Triple G's record, and you see these different fighters, and you're like, well, he wasn't really fighting, high-level competition. But then you realize it's like, well, they fought those people because the high-level competition was kind of like on the run for a while, right? I mean, Triple G couldn't get a fight for a while, and he was racking up names. And sometimes you got to fight through it that way. And so I'm just looking forward to you being able to get the competition that will be able to prove that you not only belong there, but that's something that you can dominate in those weight classes.
All right. Definitely. That's the thing I'm looking for.
Yes. And then we got Tracy here. Tracy Smith, retired boxer. What's up, Tracy? He says, Primetime. first time I saw him fight, I said he would be a world champion. Keep on the grind and it will come, my friend. Oh, that's so awesome.
Appreciate that, Tracy.
And then we got our resident referee, Chris. Chris says, spoiler alert, Mark Reyes Jr. was vicious in the 4th round via TKO. What? Referee stopped the fight. Rodriguez took too many shots after 2 knockdowns. All right, so congratulations to MRJ. And, we're glad that he was able to get that fight in this year, being that it's been difficult, like you're saying, Sonny, for some of these fights to come to fruition. So we're glad that he was able to get that victory, at least one for this year. And that leads me to the question of, some people want to see you guys fight. As it is from Tampa Bay, it'd be like Tampa Bay versus Tampa Bay, but at welterweight. So what do you think about them matching you up with other boxers that's in the Tampa Bay area? Because it's like you and one other person that they keep trying to match, they trying to match you up with 2 other people in this area.
Before I used to be like, my whole thing was to clear out Florida first before I even try to make myself known anywhere else, because I don't have a heavy amateur background, so it's harder for me to make noise unless I'm the only one in Florida that's making noise. That's how I seen it. Mm-hmm. But now it's like, man, I'm not, no disrespect to Mark, but it's like I'm not worried about nobody in Florida, because I'm chasing challenges, and I don't see nothing in Florida, period, that's gonna challenge me. Like, so in any weight, in all the 3 weight classes from welterweight to middleweight. So I don't pay no mind no more. It's like it is what it is, because like you say, as long as my name keeps going up, the guys under me gonna keep trying to fight me to get the name. So it's like they gotta earn their keep. I used to be like, man, I'll fight anybody, whenever, however. But
that's what I'm like. Yeah, I like that prime time. Every
exactly.
we would be like, is Sonny on the card? And they'd be like, yeah, Sonny's on the card. And we would be like, oh, is Sonny on this card? And then they'd be like, oh yeah, Sonny's definitely gonna be on that card too. I'm like, damn. Sonny be on the grind. He's like, yeah, I'll take that fight. Like, no second short, nothing about it. You're just like ready. So you're saying that now you don't feel like you don't have to fight anybody, but that you can be more selective?
Nah, it's not even that. It's just that I don't pay attention to people calling me out, because they do it. Everybody do it for Facebook. Because it's been people calling me out and doing all that noise and stuff. But my manager and my coach, like, they ain't got no problem because really I dictate my career. If I say I want to fight them, they might be like, I don't think it's good, but it's like, man, I want to fight them. They're gonna ride with me regardless. So we'll send out the contract, but then if it ain't on Facebook, they're a whole different person. They be talking real political off of Facebook, but on Facebook they be calling me out, saying this or saying something. So it's like, ain't no point. Because if somebody really want to fight me, all they gotta do is just send a contract, and we're gonna send it back.
Okay.
Because it's like because really
that Mark was saying that now. MRJ.
Oh no.
But I'm just saying
that's my guy.
Fans here want to see eventually. Now we got Damon Gonzalez from Latin Sports. What's up, Dame? And he says, looking at my Gucci, it's about that time. Prime time. Yeah, I know that's right. And then Amanda, she says, hey, Sakura, sorry, it's
Sonny.
Sonny is a cute. Oh, okay. He said you cute. And so with that being said, Sonny, are you single? I always gotta ask.
Nah, man.
What?
I keep that private, man. I got to keep that private because it's just too much.
If
Too much
you
nonsense.
got to go ahead and claim her. So I mean, it ain't private.
I ain't. I'm single. I'm single, but I don't like to put it out there because everybody be doing the most.
Doing the most. Are you saying you're highly wanted in this area?
You can say that. You can say that.
Well, you know what? I have no problems with that because you're prime time. And on top of that, you never claimed to be in a relationship with anybody. So you're free to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And that being said, you're about one of the only ones because every time we ask people every week, are they single? And surprisingly, most people are like, no, they're not. I'm still like, we're going to have a whole show on this one day. But like, I'm really surprised at how many people say they're not available. Basically, it's you and MRJ. Y'all the only ones that said you're single right now.
Yeah. I'm married to the game right now because it's just too much. It's too much time. Like
Right.
especially like me being in like camp. That whole camp opened my eyes because everything was on a schedule, so we had no time to rest. Like when our off time was sleep. Like every chance we got to chill, we was sleeping because it was so it was just so gruesome. Like the time, it was a whole different ball game. So now that opened my eyes to where now that I came back here, I'm gonna keep that same mentality and the same work regimen and bring it here. So it's like I don't have time at the moment for anything other than boxing.
Hey, Sonny, I was wondering. I thought you might be at that fight this weekend. Did you think about going or?
Yeah, they planned on everybody going, but they wouldn't let it happen because of the COVID. Yeah, the COVID. Because how they did it was they were saying, I guess, because Banana had to get tested twice a week, so he was only allowed to take 2 people.
Wow.
So they was like they was really restricting everything because the whole plan was for the whole entire camp to come.
Hey, son, when they did the test on you, did they touch your brains, man, with that COVID
Nah,
test?
it was not. It wasn't no crazy thing, but it wasn't that bad. After the first 2 times, it just got real aggravating. But it wasn't no super crazy thing to be worried about.
All right. We see Dame says Sonny D. Big shout out. He got some hands. Definitely can fight. Absolutely. Clarence, he says no one is safe on Facebook. And Bien, he just here. He just like, I think they put stickers, but we can't see it. So
what's your record now, Sonny?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, baby.
Go ahead.
11-0.
Okay,
11-0, 8 KOs.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on, he getting up to take care of that. So, Sonny, when you get ready to fight an opponent, do you train for that specific opponent, or do you just stay in your regular game plan and your regular training? So you know, whatever that regimen is.
I pretty much stay in my regular regimen. We might bring in a couple guys that might have a similar like fighting style, but other than that, I pretty much stick to what it is because we got a big variety in our gym as it is, and then we got a couple guys that always come, so I get different looks to where it doesn't really matter who I'm fighting. I done seen the look at least once, and then being in Miami, I done seen every look at a world class level, so I really don't pay too much of a mind of like a certain style because it's up to me to figure it out within the first 2 or 3 rounds of the fight anyway.
Hey, Sonny, what do you feel about Rosario's power? He really got that power, man?
It's real. It's real. It's definitely real. It's like this fight gonna be crazy.
You got a prediction on that one?
I got Rosario by stoppage.
Oh.
That's what I got, but I don't know what round. But I think
I don't think it go 8. I want to say the 6th.
Wow.
6th or the 7th round.
Man, you got me more excited to see this
I
fight
know,
now.
for real.
That's a lot of people just like blowing over Rosario because of his loss to Gallimore.
Yeah.
And like, but a lot of people don't understand when he fought Gallimore, that was his first fight in America, and he literally got off the couch in Dominican Republic and just came and fought. It wasn't like he had a training camp.
Right.
He just came here and fought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was like, and then if a lot of people they don't understand the boxing game. If you go back and watch that fight, Rosario got clipped in the top of the head. It's not like he got hit in the chin and went down. He got hit in the, like his temple area, so it was like an equilibrium problem. That's why he jumped up so fast.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's saying that he doesn't have a chin because he got knocked out, but he didn't get knocked out. He's been hit on the chin clearly, multiple in different fights by different guys that are pretty strong punchers, and he ain't went nowhere. So I don't think. Well, I know for a fact his chin ain't suspect at all, and I know for a fact his power is there. And
I agree, Sonny. I really believe that they don't have the right fighter that they have it in mind. They want to go back to that one specific fight, but then also try to ignore the J-Rock win. And the way that J-Rock was so masterful at getting rid of her. I mean, they went all 12 rounds, but J-Rock really made her look like, he was like totally outclassed. And so for him to come in and just get totally rocked by Rosario, and then for Rosario to have some really great, what do you want to call it? Was the type of shot that he was working on in that fight.
Yeah.
I think he ended up doing an uppercut to really get him off his game. But it was a setup. He knew how to set that fight, that punch up. So that shows that he has some skill level.
That man is like, that's why when you see this fight, it's going to be a whole different, y'all going to see a whole different banana. Like, it's going to be crazy. It's going to surprise a lot of people. He
wants that fight, too. He really wants to be a unified champion.
Exactly. And a lot of people saying that the J-Rock fight was a fluke, or they saying that J-Rock underestimated him, but I don't believe it because J-Rock had the opportunity to bring him into camp for one of his fights. And J-Rock said, nah, because I'm going to end up fighting him. And just so happened, he did end up fighting him. So it's like they knew he was a threat from the get-go. They just didn't expect him to be as big of a threat as he was.
Right. I totally believe that because they probably were looking at the footage from that last-minute call type fight that he had with Gallimore.
Exactly.
And the other thing is that they're saying J-Rock had some management or some coach issues because he's changed trainers now. So they're trying to diminish or minimize Banana's actual skill level and power that overwhelmed J-Rock that night.
Man, Banana's power is legit. Like, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I seen something when he was, because like towards the end when he was cutting weight, when a fighter cuts weight, they're at their weakest point.
Yeah.
I seen him do something to another individual in the ring that was scared, and for him to do it when he was cutting weight is crazy. Like, once I seen that, I knew for a fact, like, yeah, it's a wrap. Just don't go 6 rounds because they not gonna be ready for what. Because how I look at it, Charlo's already reached his ceiling. Like, he can't get no better than what he actually is. But Rosario ain't he's raw talent, and he's learning how to box. He's learning how to he's learning more and more. Like, his ceiling ain't even this ain't even gonna be his peak fight. It's gonna be his best performance, I feel like. But I think his skills is gonna get better and better and better. I really wish that he fought Charlo 2 fights down the line.
Okay.
That way would have been like because then his skill set would have been on the same level as Charlo. Because boxing wise, I'm not gonna disrespect Charlo and say that Rosario's Charlo's a better boxer, hands down. But that's pretty much it. Like I can't give Charlo nothing else. I can't give him power. I couldn't even give him a chin because he hasn't fought anybody that punches. He doesn't. The only person he fought that has power is Lubin, and it didn't go nothing. It only went one round, so we'll never know.
So you never know
what happened.
And that's my thing has been too, is I feel like the Charlo brothers, neither one of them have really faced an opponent that was at the same stature as they are, like the same physical, body size, weight, height, physicalities as they are. So this is going to be something different.
As far as his brother though, his brother's something else. I ain't even gonna lie. The big Charlo.
Oh, you like Jermell, huh? You think
Big Charlo? Cause his chin has been tested. Like I done seen him when he fought Korobov. Like man, I'm not saying he owns something, but I swear I thought he was on something because his facial reactions don't change. Like he get hit flush and it doesn't bother him at all. Like
what's your prediction on his fight, Sonny?
Yeah, you still got Duversonne.
I think he stopped Derevchenko.
Okay, you saying like I feel.
Yeah, that's how he feels.
Derevchenko's he good, but Charlo just too much of a pop. I think he's supposed to be at 68. Like he's just too big and too strong.
He's trying to hold on to middleweight just so he can get maybe the possibility of
Canelo fight.
But that's at 168. The Canelo fight is at 168. I think he wants another belt at 160 while he's there, so he can at least, say I dominated, the middleweight division at a certain point. But I mean, that Andrade fight has been anticipated for many years, and we haven't been able to see that. And Andrade does have a title, so that's the
one person I think that'll beat Charlo because he's like he's pretty much a stronger variation of Lara.
Okay. Yeah. With the skill and the movement.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and he has like a killer instinct. So like if he got you hurt, he gonna come. So I think and then he don't gas out. So I think that's Charlo's problem. Charlo can't do that for 12 rounds. Just walking around trying to find you, because boxing wise, I don't think I think his little brother's a better boxer, but he's just a bigger puncher. And it's just showing.
Hey, Sonny, the last dude that beat Gallimore, this tall, young Mexican dude, he's like 6'7". How you think you would do with him, man, if you fought him?
I think I beat him. He's beatable. Because he doesn't use his size.
Right.
Yeah, he does bend right back down and fights close.
Yeah, he fights short.
Yeah, you're right.
And what's crazy is we got the same reach.
Wow. Wow, your arms that long, Sonny?
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's like pretty much
arms I got. You know, I can be all over here and everywhere.
Brian Jennings arms. Like Brian Jennings.
Yeah, Brian Jennings got them long ass arms too. We saw him and we were like talking about his reach. He was like, oh yeah. So he like, showing us his reach while we was beside him. And man, it was like Emilio's arm was like half of his arm. When they had him out, I was like, damn.
Well, Sonny, that dude might be a possible opponent for you down the line somewhere, man. That's why I was thinking about it.
It's crazy because his name that came across the desk already.
Wow. Oh, okay. Wow, that's good.
But I'm not, and yeah, it came across, I want to say almost a year ago, about a year ago. And I'm not gonna say he turned it down, but his team they just didn't think it was a good fight at the time. So they just was like, nah. Damn. But yeah, it's a couple guys. It's crazy because when I was like 4 or 5-0, I used to go through the list of 154 guys of everybody that I possibly fight, and now all the names is coming coming across the table, and it's like I'm taking and that's why everybody wondering why I'm taking the fight so fast. It's like I've been watching these boys for the last year and a half. Like I know exactly what I need to do for every last one of them.
Mm-hmm. You actually
So
are
like,
a student of the boxing game and know your rankings.
Oh yeah.
Possible opponents and competition would be, and that's different than a lot of these boxers out here. That's why we saying that you like an old school breed.
Yeah, a lot of guys just let their manager or their coach do everything, and then be looking crazy when they get knocked out or when they have a tough fight in their hand. You gotta do your homework.
Damn.
Sonny, I got 2 questions. I want to know who's your favorite fighter, and can you still make welterweight?
Let's see. My favorite fighter, Thomas Hearns, hands down.
Oh man, you both got the same fighter, man. Tommy Hearns.
Yeah, man. That's the reason. Like he the reason I got into boxing. My pops used to watch his fights all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That was my boy. That's my guy there. And definitely I can make 47. I definitely can make 47. Especially now that I don't went vegan.
Oh, you know meat, huh?
Yeah. And it you know how crazy it was. I was in this camp. I had at one point in camp I got too low. I was walking around like.
We can still hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Turn the lights back on.
Somebody must have called him. So he's waiting for them to get up. You know how when you're on your phone that happens. Well, we're gonna read these comments.
Oh, there it is.
So Clarence,
my bad.
Clarence says banana split Saturday night. # Boston Playhouse. Lies only. And then Jay says, I said the same. What's that? Jamal gets hit and his head don't move. And then we got Dee Dee, my sister. She says, what's up, fam? Hey. And then we got Clarence. He said, who would you want at 147?
Anybody, really.
See?
Any and everybody. Because 47 so deep that it's like, man, that the top 30, 40, 50 guys is I'll be fine for me. I'll fight any and everybody, whenever, however, because I'm always ready. But like, I really want to fight I say Spence because I feel like Spence is the best at 147.
Okay, all right. Well,
that'll be the like. But I got a feeling. You know, it's crazy. I got a feeling I'm gonna see Spence at 54.
Wow.
And that's a big possibility, yeah, because he's already probably really struggling to get 147, if you ask me.
I feel like he's gonna unify all the belts at 47, and then he's gonna go up.
Sonny, being a vegan, you don't feel like you
lost
any power. You don't feel like you lost any of your power.
Nah. Actually, nah. I only thing I noticed was my energy level dropped a little bit when I first started, but then I got some supplements, some vegan supplements, and some vegan protein, and incorporated that in my diet, and everything else is perfect. The only problem I got now is keeping the weight on.
Oh, okay. Because I just heard Mike Tyson them saying that he wants to start eating meat again because he want to have all that power back.
He wants some iron in his life.
It's crazy. When I was in camp, I had the not my power was still there because I was based on my sparring partners. They used to tell me the same thing, but I had to switch back to eat meat because I was losing too much weight. I was walking around like 152 at one point.
Dang, so was Rosario, he was eating meat too? Or
I was the only vegan in the house.
Oh, okay.
And he was eating meat. So they was like, I'm getting too small to spar with bananas. So they was like, you got to bring your weight back up because they were giving me like double portion of vegan food, but it just wasn't.
It ain't gonna
the workload was just too crazy. So I had to switch to they had to put me on meat for a little bit, and then I jumped right back up to like 165. But I honestly don't feel a difference. Like, only thing I feel a difference in is in my energy level. But other than that, as far as power and everything else was like the same.
Hey, Sonny and Cam, was y'all getting up early running 5 miles? All
Oh
y'all?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, so
yeah.
I'm doing
Every day,
doing old
e-
school training.
yeah, every day except sparring days. We got to run. We got track workouts, so we run. We run like before we do our workouts. We got to run 4 miles. So it was like it was real. Shout out to Coach Ramon, man. That strength and conditioning coach is a pro. Like he's a like the mad scientist behind banana. Like his strength and his power is
Okay.
crazy because of that, man. Like I noticed that was the one of the main differences. But him and Coach Chiro was the biggest difference in the camp.
Wow.
Now they got Coach Chino. Is that Coach Chino?
Chiro,
Chiro? Okay.
yeah.
Chiro. That must be different. When we had Rosario on our show, I thought we had Coach Chino. Unless his name was Chiro and we just messed it up.
Yeah, it's probably Chiro.
It probably is, huh? All
Yeah.
right, so I got this new thing that I be doing, and we got to do it on Instagram too now, Sonny. But I asked you 12 questions, and then and it's quick now. You have to answer your first instincts, and then I'll go back and I'll like delve into what exactly, was the most interesting answer you gave me. So are you ready to play?
All right, yeah, I'm down for it.
All right. Okay. So the first one you already did, which is your favorite boxer. So now let's go to who is your favorite current boxer?
Current boxer right now,
Yes.
Earl Spence.
Anticipated fight this year. Anything you're anticipating you want to see
For this year or just
this
period?
year? This year. Anything that's
The tanking the Teofimo. I mean, tanking the Leo Santa Cruz fight.
All right, that's right. I like it. Your favorite food?
Uh, before vegan before vegan pizza.
A pizza?
Yeah.
Okay. After, what is it now?
It's like a veggie burger.
Yeah, I like those grillers, man. They be good. From Boca, they be good.
Yeah.
And then let's see, your favorite movie.
Favorite movie? Uh, Paid in Full.
Okay, I like it. And then we got your best trip so far that you've ever been on. Best trip, vacation trip.
Tennessee.
Oh, you like it? Memphis or Nashville?
I want to say Nashville.
All right. Yeah, I like it. And then the last time you cried. That's what y'all for. You can go back to when you were 7. You got your ass whooped, Mama give you.
It gotta be. I want to say like.
It's been a bad year here, Sonny.
I want to say. Gotta be like when I was like 9 or 10 or something like that, probably.
All right, we got the moment you fell in love with boxing. When did you fall in love with boxing?
At 9.
9. Okay. And what do you want to do after your boxing career?
Run a gym.
Who would you rather, Holly Berry or Sanaa Lathan?
Man, that was a good one. I go with Sanaa. I gotta go with Sanaa.
Okay. Better music, Nicki or Cardi B?
Man,
Good one.
I'll say Cardi, man.
Okay. Who you think, Nicki or Cardi B?
Man, I don't know.
I ain't basing it off of lyrics though. I'm just basing it off of like the
The
vibe.
music, and then Monica versus Brandy.
Monica, no, that wasn't even a. Like,
I didn't even see
I
that.
don't even know why that was even a challenge. That was just crazy. Like I don't think Brandy was even supposed. She wasn't even worthy of going with Monica.
Wow, boy, somebody's a huge Monica fan. Okay, your pet peeve, something that irritates the shit out of you.
Being late.
Okay,
I got one.
and one more, baby. Hold on. Sweetest person in your family.
The sweetest person in my family, my mom.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. You question number 13.
Sonny, when you jamming to music, man, who you like to listen to or work out to?
It's crazy because it be weird sometimes. I like Florida rappers though.
Florida rappers, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much anybody from Florida I can listen to.
Oh, okay. You like Rick Ross?
Oh yeah, definitely Ross. I like Coley P, Kodak, Plies, Trick, Iceberg, Tom G.
What about the cat from St. Pete, Rod Wave?
Rod Wave. I jam him.
Okay.
Mook Boy from Orlando. Like I like I just like listening to the
Florida
pretty
rappers.
much Florida rappers.
Them dudes from Atlanta, I don't know about them, man.
Yeah, man. It's a couple of I listen to Lil Baby. That's about it.
Little
Yeah,
baby.
Lil Baby.
Oh, no. That's different than the baby, huh? That's two babies.
Nah. Yeah, not Dumb Baby.
Yeah.
Lil Baby.
Okay, Dahlia Duran, she says, how many miles do you usually run? How many times a week?
I normally run. It's crazy because my coach, they got to tell me because I run too much. Because I run like 4 in the morning and 4 at night. But it's like I got to cut that back. So I try to run at least five a day. I run 5 a day, 7 days a week, at least.
I know, but I don't know how you're gonna maintain. You know, you're exercising and your metabolism is up so much. I don't know if this vegan thing gonna work out because you burn a lot of energy.
That's why they keep telling me it's crazy. Cause Banana even told me, he was like, man, you need to go to 47 because you getting so small. 47 is just calling your name, like, so that's probably what's gonna have to happen because the camp, that's what got me running like that, because you be so like our workouts be so tough that on days like on our off days and stuff, like you just be so pumped and ready to go. It's like you gotta run to do something because they don't want you working out. So you're like, all right, I'll just give me a run in, and then I end up running to the beach and back. And that's like 9 miles you run to the beach and back.
Whoa.
And I wouldn't even know it.
Jeez, your body is at peak performance right now, Sonny. I mean, there's plenty of work at welterweight and 154 though. Like, so
oh yeah,
making it hard to know. But what I do like about 154 is everybody is fighting everybody.
That's the main reason why I want to stay at 54. Because 47 is too many different sides of the street that you got to cross and deal with.
That is true. Maitland Cooper, she says, let's see. She says, how did you become a boxer affect your family? Oh, how did you becoming a boxer affect your family? How many matches have they came to? Like, how many fights have they been able to come to?
Well, my family, they come to every fight. They done been to every fight.
Yes,
except my mom.
Representation.
My mom came like twice, but then she don't like the violence, so she don't come really no more.
Oh, okay.
Everybody, like, it didn't affect. It's crazy because I used to get in trouble a lot. Like, I used to get in a lot of trouble, like a whole lot of trouble. So me boxing, it really didn't affect my family, like, and nothing in that way, because they were just happy that I was out, and I'm just staying focused on something. because I was always from the time I want to say from 1999 to 2013. I was never free for a whole year. Like I was always getting locked up at least once every year. So it was like, man, as long as I'm out and I'm focused on something, they happy.
That's what's up.
Sonny, I saw a comment earlier that we didn't read. Somebody was asking, where does the name Primetime come from?
I think it's just pretty much I want to say my coach gave me that name because but I pretty much say like because matter of fact I gave myself that name because when I spar, a lot of people they try to win sparring sessions, but I don't. I be trying to work on stuff.
Right.
So if I get beat up in a sparring session, it is what it is. But I'm working on what I need to work on, and now I know it don't work. Right. So my performances in my sparring, everybody be like, "Oh, he ain't that good." But then when I fight, I always perform. That's why I say I'm prime time because I perform under the lights. Right. I perform when it's time. I don't worry about other times and stuff. I ain't got time for the Facebook and the IG little highlight clip. I just be trying to perform when all the lights is on.
Yeah.
Right. Reserve your energy. Stay. Make it more like it's a workout and a serious learning opportunity, and exactly. Far more so than a physical. People. Some of these sparring sessions, I mean, like they say that it's worse than an actual fight because people got this animosity and trying to beat each other and all this. It comes out of
the camp I was in. It's like pretty much we had no choice but to bring the monster out, but because everybody was super competitive, but we was still trying to like focus on certain things. But like this is a lot of guys. Like I used to go to gyms and they won't even spar me if they've never seen me spar before. They'll be like, "Oh, nah, we'll wait," just because they don't want to get embarrassed and get exposed or something like that. But it's like, man, it's either you gonna beat me or I'm gonna beat you. But it's sparring, so it's like a learning experience. It ain't no winner loser in sparring.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, right? Now I wanted to ask you about COVID-19 and having to fight without a crowd. Is this something that you think you'll have to adjust to? Because I've seen you at different fights and you always have like a good group of supporters there for you.
Nah, I don't think it's gonna affect me at all. It's pretty much like a glorified sparring session now. That's how I look at it. Because as long as all I care about is the judges and the ref. They're the only ones that got to be in the building. The judges and the ref. Everybody else is extra.
True. That's true. Right. That's true.
Hey, Sonny, your signature punch, is it the body? I forgot which one was your signature.
It's the left. I say the left hook to the body.
Oh, the left to the body.
But I like his jab. I think he has a nice jab. Yes. Yeah. Like a nice form.
That's my go-to. My jab.
Yeah.
That's what started. Like my pops got me on that. My jab. That was the one thing that he pounded in my head. Just make sure your jab is always on point.
You can tell too because you got the right stance and the right your legs are the right width apart from each other. All that. So you can tell that it's like a technically perfect jab most of the time.
Sonny got that reach, man.
The reach helps a lot when you jab
Bring that right hand jab, Sonny.
Yeah, man. It was crazy.
Like Tommy Hurd.
I've been having injuries to my right hand. My right hand was my power. Like that was my most signature punch. But since I had a couple injuries on my right hand, I don't throw it as much because I don't want to. Pretty much every fight, it get injured. Wow. So I done shied away from it.
Got you. So now you're trying to incorporate using both hands for strength, like your left hook. Yeah. A lot of times people figure out that wait a minute, I'm thinking this is my best punch, but I'm pretty heavy-handed in this left too.
and that's how I found out about my hook.
Okay.
Sonny, you ever sparred with Thurman?
Nah.
Why you
Nah, I
laughing?
haven't.
What is so
Hey,
funny?
it's funny, man.
Nah, man. Nah, it was just a situation. Nah, we never sparred though. I
Okay.
always wanted to, but it was a situation one time when I was at the gym, and I guess I just looked it too big, and they was like, nah, you not a welterweight. And I'm like, man, I'm a welterweight.
I was gonna
It was
say,
like, nah, you definitely not. So they excluded me from the sparring. I think he was getting ready for his fight. So I was like, all right, cool.
Okay, got it. So you will make the mark now with all this running and now going back down and weight the way you know you're not even trying and you're getting back to the 147
Oh
zone.
yeah,
don't they got a
oh yeah,
scale
I'm
in
definitely,
here, Sonny?
yeah, man. Listen, I've been put on the scale at least like 3, 4 times in different gyms. I ain't gonna say no names. I remember I went to a gym and it was like I went to a gym in Tampa and it was like 4 guys that I know y'all know, and and none of them wanted to spar, and none of them wanted to spar, and they had us get on the scale, and I was the lightest guy in out of everybody, but they swear I was bigger. I just looked it bigger. I was like, man, I'm at this weight right here, man. Like they was like, nah, you bigger. And they coaches was like, oh no, you
You
got to get
got
on the
that
scale.
look.
So it's
Now,
like,
you
hey,
definitely got that imposing look for
It
sure.
looks is deceiving.
Yes,
yeah,
very.
I just got broad shoulders. That's all it is. Like I got real broad shoulders. But it's
Right.
like, man, man, listen, it's crazy, man. But
And then we got people in Tampa Bay that always say they can't find sparring, but then you know when they have people right there in their gym and then they turn them down. And like you said, it's just supposed to be sparring. It's like you know, fighting somebody and you're about to like go to war for real in a real fight that counts. You know, so I never understood that, but you know, apparently that's a big thing over here. Now, if
that's
it's
like,
one trainer you would like to get in and have access to for like a day, is there any trainer that you would like, you know, like, damn, I wish I could be in his camp for like maybe even a week or something, no matter what part of the country?
I want to say Derek James and Robert Garcia.
Yeah, those are two good ones. Now you really picked two good ones for real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are two.
Mm-hmm.
Them the two of that. I say Derek James because he teaches he teaches like the minor things. Like he teaches a lot of little stuff. He don't try to change your style. He just try like touch up a couple things and then add a little something into it. And with
Mm-hmm.
Robert he just a fighter's coach pretty much. That's how I just love Robert because he a fighter's coach. He don't seem like he just bigger than like he don't seem like he bigger than his guys or all that. Like
Mm-hmm.
he ain't
Right.
got no ego. He just down to earth.
Yeah, he's always for his fighters too, and I really like the way he can devise a strategy against the opponents that works. I mean, he's like the type where they can sit down and watch tape, and he can figure out exactly like, oh, this kid here, you need to fight him this way. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows how to analyze it. I believe.
And he got a lot of his guys be coming in as the underdogs, and he been up like they've been upsetting a lot of guys this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, I mean, I like him a lot. Well, we need to all go out to California when this whole COVID situation is over and
Oh,
and
definitely,
hook up
definitely.
and go to these gyms and you know just hang out with people for a day or two and see what the other side of the coast is like. You know, see what's
Oh
on the
yeah,
Pacific side. Yeah.
I'm definitely down for that.
Well, Sonny, we've enjoyed having
Tito.
you tonight. We did have Tito on the line. He was TNK Boxing
Tito,
Promotions.
what's up, Tito?
And Tito has got 2 dates that we all need to make sure we jot down soon. We got October 17th in at the Polk what is it? The Polk Theater. And that is going to be in Lakeland. That is October 17th. It's All or Nothing 3. It's going to have people like Taz Brown on it. What was some other names? Armando
They got
Moore.
2 guys out of my camp in there.
Oh, really? Who's your 2 guys?
They got Daryl Jones and Eric. Both of them are they're gonna be fighting. They recently joined our team, so it's gonna be their
Okay.
first showing on our squad. So
Cool.
I think it's gonna be a real good one that night.
We got Ivan the Great one, Franco. We got Bam, OJ. That's Brandon Moore, the heavyweight,
Oh yeah,
coming back into action. Bassiste. We got a Gary Bassiste in here. And then we got Overby. A lot of good fighters that's going to be on that card in October. And then we also have November the 6th, which is going to be our Boxing Hall of Fame fights. And that's going to be at the Marriott in St. Petersburg, Florida. Now, that's going to
oh
be
yeah, I definitely do that.
a great card because we got Hot Rod Kajalik. The main event is going to be Clarence, Mr. St. Pete Booth. There's going to also be some other people like Jose Ocasio. So I'm looking forward to that card as well. I mean, I hope that you're going to be there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm coming to both events. I'll definitely be in the building.
All
I can't
right.
miss that.
Awesome. We might even end up seeing Sonny in the ring, baby. You know how he is. Can't stay out.
Hey, you never know. Now you never know. Listen,
Like, oh, they canceled on you. Oh, I got it. Let me jump in this right quick. What's
jump
up?
right up in there.
All right.
Definitely.
So where can people find you at on social media, Sonny, so they can be your fans like we are?
On IG, you can find me at primetime_863, and Facebook, my name Sonny Duversonne, and Snapchat, same thing, primetime_863. Twitter, same thing, primetime_863, and that's about it right there.
Okay, so is for Twitter, which one is it? It's Primetime what?
_863.
863. Okay, great. I was having a hard time finding you on Twitter earlier today, so I need to
Yeah,
go
I don't really be on Twitter like that, but
I know it's hard. Most of the bosses be on IG and Facebook, and then of course you can find Boxing Playhouse and Support Emilio Santana, both of us on Facebook, Instagram, and IG. Just basically search Boxing Playhouse. And we also have a YouTube channel that we're trying to build up, guys, and we need your help. We need you to make sure when you go and view some of our videos over there, like Sonny's tonight, that you actually click the subscribe button. And it's like that. It's just like real simple. And then you will get alerts exactly when we have these live podcasts. And then we also have www.boxingplayhouse.com. And you never know what boxer or what event we'll be highlighting that night. So until our next occasion, which is next Thursday, we'll see you later.
Appreciate you, Sonny.
Thanks so much,
bro.
Peace.
Oh, anytime, man. Appreciate y'all for having me on.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
And that was our man, Sonny.
All right. Hi, Sharessa. How you doing?
Oh, yeah, we missed her. And thanks so much to all our Boxing Playhouse fans. Thanks so much for using hashtag BPH. Clarence, Sarissa, Dahlia, Maddie, Chris, everybody, we thank you so much for being a part of our show. See you next Thursday.